About 2 years back, I started getting into self improvement, and it was this space of constantly improving on yourself. And one of the people that I used to watch, that I used to take advice from, was called Hamza. And he taught me many of the things that I follow now, like working out and meditating and doing all these good habits for yourself. But one thing that he also always had in his videos was his rants about blue pillars or guys that just liked everybody, that were very nice. And he would say that blue pillars don't get girls. And he would always go on rants and say people who tell you that you should always be nice, they don't know what they're talking about. And I remember as I was watching these videos, I would internalize that. And I would say, yo, that's the truth, that's the truth. And instead of actually benefiting me, this belief actually hurt me inside and suffered, because when I went out and spoke to people, I thought that I shouldn't care about what they thought. I thought that I shouldn't be empathetic. I thought that I shouldn't be present and genuinely listen to what they were saying. And so my social skills were not as good as they could have been. And it all came from the fact that I had just mindlessly followed him. A lot of things in my life I do follow, and they're good things in my life. I love the fact that they're in my life. I'm glad that he showed me those things. But I also took a lot of things from his videos and I just implemented it into my life without actually thinking about it, without analyzing it. Is this good for my life? And I remember that this would happen throughout my life, in my younger life as well. When I was younger, I would have this friend, right? And he was my friend. And I remember that he got in a fight with this other kid, right? It was a basic little fight. The other kid slapped him or something like that. But he didn't like this kid for some reason. But I always thought that this kid that my friend didn't like, I thought he was always kind of disciplined. I thought that he was kind of cool. I thought he was someone that I would like to be friends with. But my friend, he would always make fun of him. He would always make jokes. And he would kind of sideline this kid that I thought was disciplined and cool. And I never really spoke to him. I just kind of internalized that if my friend doesn't like him, I guess I shouldn't like him either. And I just mindlessly followed without actually thinking for myself. And this hurt me in many ways. I think he would have been a cool friend to actually be friends with. When you mindlessly follow what other people say, you don't think rationally. You act irrationally and you do things that you will later regret. I need you to start analyzing, what am I actually thinking? Do I really need to think this, or is this something that someone else around me has said and I have just adopted it into my belief system? And if you think, oh, I'm not one of those people, I'm not a follower, I always think for myself. I want you to ask yourself, how many times have you genuinely promoted an idea that was opposite to what your friends or your group or your culture said? That you genuinely had a belief that contradicted what your friends said, and you held on to that belief for a long period of time. Because honestly, I can't say that I have. I can't really say that I have. And you want to have beliefs that you really believe are something that you believe, not what someone else has integrated into you. This is a guide to separate your thinking. The first thing you want to do is clearly state what actually happened. So in my case, I would have said, Hamza, he doesn't like these blue pillars. He doesn't like the guys that are soft. He doesn't like the guys that are nice to everybody. And in saying it like that, it would have been a fact that, oh yeah, he thinks that way. But I don't really have to think that way, do I? I mean, he thinks that way. And it's clearly stated. Instead of you just subconsciously absorbing the beliefs of the people around you. In the second case, I would have said, my friend isn't like this disciplined kid. And in my mind, I know that I would have thought, so what does that have to do with me? And now I'm finally choosing to think for myself. I'm not just subconsciously absorbing what he thinks. And that's another tip that I want to give to you. Whenever you hear statements from different people, I want you to put the words I think in front of those statements. When Hamza said, yeah, blue pillars, they're bad, I should have thought, he thinks that blue pillars are bad. He thinks that being nice is bad. When my friend didn't like this kid, I should have thought, my friend thinks that this kid is bad. My friend thinks that he doesn't like this kid. And now it's like oh, I can think something different. It's not a statement of truth. And I want you to do this even with me. When I tell you things, don't just absorb it into you. I want you to say, I think. Put those words in my mouth. I'm not going to do that for you, but you need to do that for everybody else so that you can really filter what goes into your head and really what you believe. Because you don't want to just believe everything that everybody else says, because it might not be true. Everybody has these personal beliefs that they think are true, and they'll tell you these statements, and they will not say, I think, because it's not needed. But for you to truly remain rational, always add the I think in the front of everyone's sentences. The second practice I have for you is to imagine that you are an anthropologist studying an alien tribe. When you look at your culture, when you look at your group, when you look at the friends around you, I want you to ask, let me observe what these guys are doing. Let me see how these guys think. Let me analyze their behavior. I want you to think like that. Don't just absorb, analyze, observe, and look from the outside in. Be the observer, be the anthropologist, be the scientist standing outside and watching what's going on inside. The third practice is to take the opposite view from what your friends or your group or the people around you think and see if it brings you any value. I should have thought, actually, you know what? I like nice guys. I know Hamza thinks that he doesn't like nice guys, but I'm gonna pretend I like nice guys. Nice guys are cool. And I would have thought, what kind of value does this bring to me? Well, this would have made me more happy, honestly. It would have made me grateful. It would have made me more empathetic when I'm speaking to people. And that's valuable to me. When I take the case of my friend, I would have said, you know what? I like this new kid. Even though my friend doesn't like him, I like him. He's pretty cool. And I would realize that, he's pretty disciplined. I would like to be around him. My life would have probably been better if I had actually gotten to know him. And the fourth tip that I can give to you is to actually find a self-confidence in yourself so that you can trust your own beliefs without mindlessly just accepting what's around you. That's never going to benefit you. I want you to build your values into you. Find out, what are my values? How do I want to live? I want you to write down at least 3 values that you genuinely believe in and try to go about your life thinking about those values. Those values don't always have to stay the same. They're going to change throughout your life. That's fine. Just make sure you are always clear, how do I want to live my life right now? How do I actually want to live? And that way you will stop yourself from just mindlessly goofing around and absorbing everything and being someone who you don't even know who you are. Don't be that person. Genuinely have that self-confidence. And if you want to develop that true self-confidence of looking at yourself and being able to say, I am proud that I am that person, something that I would also recommend to you is to start building a body that you are proud of. Start building a physique that you think actually looks attractive. Stop looking at yourself in the mirror and being disappointed. That's not how you want to go about your life. Is that really how you want to live? To look at yourself and actually be disappointed? To not even be proud of the person that you're seeing in the mirror? Don't be that guy. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and be better. If you're looking to have a workout program that tells you exactly everything that you need to do to build that body, check out the link below and I'll help you there. With that, I hope that you got something from this video. Go out and conquer.